everyone, and welcome from my car, and not even the cool car, like the average car. I feel average today. This is why I have like makeup on and look cute because I feel very average. And the narcissism in me ain't gonna stand for that. And if I'm gonna keep doing woos, I'm gonna need some water, which I can't seem to find in my car. That's what I get for taking the average car. It doesn't have as much water. But anyway, I'm Winona. I remember to introduce myself. I'm like, high five to me, semi-professionalism. As I do this dance, I have an actual professional online, and so I should like temper it down and be serious. And I wrote books with other people, but like I still wrote books. There's And I Thought Divorce Was Bad, and I Thought Being Grown Easy, If Only I Were Me, and Memoir in Verse, Foreign Coffee, Widow's Web, and Widow's Debt. And if you're counting, that is six. And this is sign language six. Six books. Actually, I'm making it 16, but that's not important. It's six books. If you want to see the rest of the books that we've written, because we now have 20, and we just finished number 21, and we're working on number 22. But if you want to see the rest, you can go to www.andithoughladies.com. Oh, just to honor Jade's non-presence here, let me say these books are literary life guides with pop poetry, except for like Foreign Coffee and the Whittled That series, because, well, we need a romance and a mystery. Who doesn't need those things, right? But you're not here to hear about me. You're here to hear about our wonderful guests. Wonderful guests, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Julia Drake. I'm the co-founder and director of Wildbound PR and Wildbound Live. We are a PR and marketing firm, specifically for books, authors. We also work with publishers and storytellers, but books is definitely, that's our sweet spot. And we work with clients all over the world, from debut authors to New York Times best-selling authors. And we love what we do, and we are wild.
I love that. And I love that you're wild bound. Okay, first that's an oxymoron, because how is something wild and bound? And then secondly, it just sounds like your book is going to do like amazing things now. Like you put it with Julia and your book goes wild.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
So, like on your about page, it says that you're one of the 21st century PR agencies. How has PR changed from, I don't know, if you were alive for the 20th century, the whole 1900s thing, to the 21st century? How has it changed?
Yeah, totally. I would say, our landscape, the entertainment landscape, as well as the literary landscape, is very fragmented at this point. So, what used to work, where, you would get a review in the New York Times or something, and that would just, really move the needle. It just doesn't work like that anymore. Everybody sort of has their own little circle of information that where they draw from, and everybody's is different. And so really, we try to have all the tools in our quiver to make sure that we can do the most well-rounded book campaign. And so we just don't believe that it's enough to say, oh, it's all about the media outreach, or, it's all about the social media marketing, or it's all about doing events. It's all of that. It's video. It's really all you can think of, and, and out of the box and then some. And that's really what we're trying to do at Wildbound.
Okay, I'm gonna be specific, and then you don't have to answer this question in any way, shape, or form. But I want to know: do blog tours still work?
Yes, yes. I mean, I think it's all about the platform. And, and obviously, if you pick 10 blogs and they have no followers, then, it's probably not going to go very far. But if you have, I think, we have some companies that we work with that, that have bloggers that have a pretty good platform, and then they will also post on their Instagram. So you also kind of get that social media amplification, then that can be pretty effective. Again, that's one part of the puzzle. So
Yeah. Okay, so I was supposed to not be that like specific and niche down, but I just had to ask, because someone recently was like blog tour, and I went, oh, I haven't heard blog tour in ages.
yeah, no, it's around. It's around. Yeah, it's still.
Don't
Yeah,
count it out, y'all. I know I did for a split second, and I was like, let me ask an expert. You, madam, have had such an amazing career in writing. I have to like ask about like the cool one where you were like in the Los Angeles. I don't know. Do I want the Right Girl or nonprofit organization, or
All
do I
right,
want to ask
girl.
about?
Yes, that's wonderful. Such an
No,
amazing
I'm gonna ask about
organization.
the publisher associations of Los Angeles. I'm gonna ask about Right Girl first. First, I'm gonna do the pompous one first. You know, the one with the clout.
I mean, Right Girl has been around for a long time, and and they really, I was a mentor, working with Right Girl, and just the young girls I met there and I worked with, they were so inspiring, and I thought it was amazing that they were 17, 16, 17, and they were so grounded. They were so grounded in who they were and who they wanted to become. And their writing was inspiring, and I just loved working with them. And that was a really rewarding experience. So I miss them.
As being one of not one of those girls, but being a teenager that bore a writing that birthed a writing career for herself that actually made money. I'm gonna just say writing really helps ground everything because you have to think about it, analyze it, fit it into a story, and then write it down in an organized manner that keeps people fascinated. Yeah, you got to break your whole life down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough of me talking about me. I said I'm a narcissist after all. Um, you also formed a feature film production company. How does one go and do that from like being in the literary world? Because I need to do that.
Well, it was kind of backwards actually, because I started out at UCLA Film School. That's actually where I met my husband, and we're partners in Wildbound now. But I started out making films, and so that's I come from the film world. And then we were in LA for over 15 years, and then at some point we just got very frustrated with being in LA, and we wanted a different life for us and our kids, and so that's how we moved and we transitioned. We had a lot of author friends, and we kind of transitioned more into the book industry. But that's but we started off in the film industry, and we're still have one foot in the film industry. And so it's we're still doing that. Seem to not be able to get out of it.
I don't. I think it's a great creative outlet to have both. I mean, how
Yeah.
many authors out here are like, I want to see it on the screen, and you have knowledge of both worlds, and it's hard to find someone with knowledge of both worlds.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I mean, that's definitely something that our clients appreciate when they're working with us. And obviously, if we see books that are that look like, they might be a potential for an adaptation, then, we will definitely see if, we have connections, we will see if we can, open some doors. I mean, it's very hard, but then again, there's a ton of movies that come out every day that are based on books. So um, yeah. Mhm.
If you have any doors you want to open for this for this host over here, just let me know. Oh, so I'm assuming so when you moved from Los Angeles, I saw you on skis to a place a little cooler. Was it because you were homesick for Germany?
I was not. I mean, I love Germany and I loved growing up there. It definitely informed, I think, a lot of who I am and my imagination, growing up in, the Black Forest, the cradle of Grimm's fairy tales, which basically forms the basis of every Disney movie out there. Um, so yes, I love going back. We go back, once a year. But I really love, we live in Tahoe now, and I love Tahoe. It's sort of the best of both worlds. um, and so yeah, so I kind of, it feels like I can have my cake and eat it too, living in Tahoe. So it's nice.
Wait, you get both. Yes, that is awesome. And mountains. Wait, did I say that right? It is mountains, right?
That's the mountains. Yeah, that's the mountains. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the mountains. I love skiing. So yeah.
I'm second guessing myself today. Y'all, here's a small narcissist story. Went to the doctor's. Doctor was like, "Oh, this is what's wrong with you." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's fine." So if y'all don't know, like I'm studying to become a physician assistant. And he was like, "This is what's wrong with you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Wait, how?" And then he explained it. And he was like, "It's a central nerve." And I'm like, "Oh my God, how could I forget where it is?" Like So when you're saying Tahoe, and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, wait, how did I forget where that was? Not a good day for the memory, yo. This is why I'm not writing today. I'm interviewing someone where I have to remember information and then talk to them, right? Anyway, back from my narcissist rants and back to Miss Drake. So my next question was going to be like, this is really for like the authors out there who want to know, because everyone wants to know, and I love PR, so I'm always down for the cause to know more information. What are the 3 tips that you feel that authors need to know when they're looking to publicize their book? Besides hire you. I mean, obviously that's
Yeah.
tip number 1, hire Wildbound.
Yes, number one, right. No, I feel like before you even, come to us, I think there are a lot of things that you can do to put yourself in a good position. To be considered by us. I mean, because frankly, like we have, there's just a lot of inquiries that we have, and unfortunately, we are a boutique company, so we can't really take on that many people. So what you can do for yourself, one is, platform is really important. I know this word is such a, it's a corporate jargon word, and I don't think any writer wants to hear it, but it is just true. That's what publishers are looking at. That's what, that's what build credibility, so it's, you have to have a professional author website. You have to have social media channels. You don't have to go overboard, but it's just everything has to look professional. And so that's just, that just really helps. That just really helps. I think number 2, I would say, is, you, yes, of course, it would be nice if you wrote a book that everybody likes to read. But I think it's more important to be realistic and really think about your target audience and figure out where they are at and how you can find them. I think that is super important too. And, 3, I feel like, it's a tough road, getting your book published and getting it out there. And I feel like it's important in these moments where, everything just seems to crumble and book sales are not where they're at. And, social media is not where it's at, and you just feel really down on yourself, to always come back to why you had to write this book. And that really needs to be, it shouldn't be connected to making a bunch of money or, or being celebrated or whatever. It should really come from deep inside, where you feel like, I just had to write this book, and I don't care if, anybody ever appreciates it or sees it. And I feel like you need to come back to that, like why you had to do that. I think that's really important. So yeah, that's what I would say. 3 points.
Okay, first of all, I love that, like, come back into why you've grounded yourself in the creative career in the first place. Because I feel like in creativity, your why becomes everything. Because nobody else is gonna push you like that. You
Yeah.
have to do it yourself, and that's hard.
Yes, it is very hard.
So, of course, I have to follow up with the question for me: is Good Morning America still a possibility for authors, indie authors?
Yes. Yes. It's you have to have, I think your best chance probably is if you've written a memoir or nonfiction, just because if there's something that's really compelling that is sort of has a newsy angle, then yes, then there's definitely a chance. I think fiction is very hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I've written poetry, so
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Yep. Good
Yeah.
morning.
Tough
Like,
one too.
no.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I had heard recently, and then I swear we're gonna stop discussing mediums and stuff like that. The other thing that I had heard recently is that the best media platform right now is podcast. Like, I mean, it's not a recent thing, but everyone's like, it's got to be like long form interviews really moves books.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think on this?
I think podcasts are an important addition now to your sort of your strategy, in terms of getting coverage. I think they are very important. A lot of people listen to them. I do think they can move books, but I'm not a believer in saying this is the new thing now and everybody has to jump on the bandwagon, and all I'm going to do is reach out to podcasts. I just don't think that works either, especially because I don't think everybody listens to podcasts. I think it's a certain segment. I think and so I've depending on what kind of books you write, you need to think about whether podcasts are, they probably should be part of your strategy, but I don't know if they should be, should take whatever 60-70%, of your strategy. So
Uh-huh. That sucks. Because that is my strategy. Oh, I should have said yes to those blow tours. Should have been like 50-50 or something.
Yeah,
It's
but just
definitely my strategy.
have a balanced approach. I think that's kind of what I'm seeing, works. But then again, it's the Wild West out there a little bit, right? So you can sort of, it, it's, don't take everything I say for at face value. This is just by experience. Hello?